Greetings, fellow Taoist friends, and welcome back to the next video on the 1991 review channel. Well, the filmmakers have boosted Xiao Yan's strength by 9 levels at once, from a 1-star Dozun to the peak of the 9th transformation Dozun. Don't you all think this plot point is a bit too much? Today, we will follow the next development of the series to see what Xiao Yan's journey will be like next. Let's review the previous episode a little. At the end of episode 168, Divine Tree's assistance, the half-saint's arrival, the Bodhi ancient tree, a spiritual object from the creation of heaven and earth that has existed since primordial times, was facing an inner demon tribulation. At the moment of life and death, Xiao Yan used his body as a cauldron, invoking the divine might of the heavenly flames to purify tens of thousands of years of distracting thoughts for the divine tree. Grateful for this great favor, the ancient tree bestowed a great fortune. Countless Bodhi seeds, carrying the purest Tao rhythm, flew toward Xiao Yan. This was not a mere gift, but an acknowledgement from heaven and earth itself. However, where there is a great treasure, there will be greedy people. The scoundrels from the Soul Hall, led by Hanyu, had their reason clouded by greed, delusionally hoping to be the fisherman who reaps the benefits. They moved to snatch the treasures. Faced with such shamelessness, Xiao Yan flew into a rage. His divine might erupted, and he easily suppressed them like chicks, striking them until their souls scattered. Just as his killing intent arose and he was about to obliterate them on the spot to prevent future trouble, the space here began to collapse, the walls of space cracking like a mirror. At the same time, in the outside world, a heaven-shaking fluctuation spread out for 10,000 miles from the Bodhi ancient tree, causing the world to tremble and the sun and moon to lose their light. Qing Lin and the others felt a terrifying tremor, and their gazes simultaneously turned towards the divine tree. Immediately, the void rippled, and the figures of Xiao Yan and everyone else broke through space and emerged. Seeing that they were safe, Naylan Yenron's group hurriedly flew over to welcome them. After a few words, they all descended onto an open piece of ground. As soon as the last person had escaped, the Bodhi ancient tree shook the universe and then slowly hid itself deep within the earth, concealing its heavenly secrets. Gu Qingyang sighed with regret. What a pity we still didn't get to see the legendary Bodhi heart. Hearing this, Xiao Yan just smiled faintly. With a slight thought, he could feel a verdant spiritual object, full of Tao rhythm and life force, lying quietly in his chest. It was the ultimate treasure, the Bodhi heart. He said silently in his heart, "Brother Bodhi, no words can describe this great favor. I hope we have the fortune to meet again." As soon as the words left his mind, the divine tree completely disappeared. But at that very moment, the space suddenly twisted. Xiao Yan narrowed his eyes and saw, behind Jiu Feng, a phantom of the heavenly phoenix that blotted out the entire sky, its pressure like the might of heaven descending. A cold smile crept onto the corner of Xiao Yan's mouth. It seems your heavenly demon phoenix tribe should find a new young patriarch soon. As if struck in a sore spot, Jiu Feng roared madly, "Brother Hanyu, what are you waiting for?" Hanyu's face was grim as he crushed the space scroll. Instantly, a terrifying stream of energy poured into Jiu Feng's body, causing the heavenly phoenix phantom to expand even further. Jiu Feng tilted his head to the sky and let out a great roar, his phoenix wings tearing the void. A dark, spherical passageway appeared, from which a soul-shaking, deathly black aura emanated, swirling like a storm and sweeping across the land. This aura made all of creation submit, and caused the very laws of heaven and earth to tremble. As the terrifying pressure crashed down, Xiao Yan immediately erected a flame barrier. Behind him, everyone's expression changed drastically, and they cried out in alarm. This is the aura of a half-saint expert. We absolutely cannot let them succeed in their summoning. Xiao Yan shouted coldly. With a wave of his hand, the heavenly flames condensed into a blazing fire beast and charged toward the passageway. However, a stream of black gas shot out from within the passageway and easily dispersed it. As the black gas faded, an old man with a body as withered as deadwood, leaning on a skull-headed staff, staggered out. His cloudy eyes held endless cruelty and vicissitude. Upon seeing the old man, Hanyu hurriedly said respectfully, "Elder Guyu, this person has cultivated within the Bodhi ancient tree for a month, and his strength has soared to the peak of a 9-star Dozong. He also has countless Bodhi seeds in his possession. Only you can make him stay." The old man, Guyu, was slightly surprised. He swept his gaze over Xiao Yan, and a strange smile appeared on his shriveled face. "I didn't expect this kid to have received such a great fortune." The old man's gaze was like 2 sharp blades, but Xiao Yan met it coldly, his fighting spirit boiling. "It seems that today I must fight a half-saint expert." Gu Qingyang, seeing the perilous situation, immediately crushed a space jade slip, but it was useless. Sunder said worriedly, "It's no use. The space here has been sealed by the heavenly phoenix phantom. No fluctuations can be transmitted out." At this moment, Guyu shifted his gaze to Sunder's group and sneered. "So there are a few little ones from the Gu clan here as well." He looked at Xiao Yan again and said slowly, "To think that even in its decline, the Xiao clan could still produce a figure like you. This old man is Guyu, the second Qinzuan of the Soul Hall." The two words, second Qinzuan, struck everyone's ears like thunder. Xiao Yan clenched his fists and made a resolution. "After this is over, I will immediately enter seclusion to refine the Bodhi heart. Once I break through to the half-saint realm, I will no longer need to fear you of the Soul Hall." Killing intent radiated from his body. Guyu coughed dryly, a cold glint flashing his eyes. "The introductions are over. Little one from the Xiao clan, will you come with me on your own, or do you want this old man to make a move?" Xiao Yan turned to the others. "Suner, can you and everyone else hold him off for a moment?" Suner nodded slightly, a 7-color clan tattoo appearing on her forehead. Her aura soared, and a golden flame ignited in her eyes. Without a second's hesitation, Xiao Yan retreated. Spreading his hands, 5 types of terrifying heavenly flames appeared simultaneously. Guyu's expression changed slightly. "You want to fuse heavenly flames?" This old man also wants to see if the legendary annihilation fire Lotus is as terrifying as the rumors say. After speaking, his gaze flickered back to Suner, revealing a look of surprise. "This little girl from the Gu clan possesses the most perfect bloodline of legend? A pity you are still not this old man's opponent." With that, Guyu's figure bizarrely vanished. Suner's expression changed, and she retreated rapidly while simultaneously striking out at the empty space. Boom! An explosion rang out as Guyu reappeared, their palms meeting head-on. A terrifying shockwave erupted, and Suner was pushed back. Even Guyu was forced to exclaim in surprise. Golden Emperor Sky Burning Flame. Rank 4th on the Heavenly Flame chart. To think a little girl could subdue it. At this point, Guyu dared not be careless any longer. He swung the staff in his hand, and the boundless black mist condensed into a massive phantom of a skeleton king, its demonic aura surging to the heavens. Sooner Medusa and the other heroines showed no fear. Their do-chi erupted, and they charged forward in a coordinated attack. Seizing the opportunity, Sooner formed hand seals, and the Golden Emperor Sky-Burning Flame raged, creating a flaming prison that trapped the Skeleton King. Roar! Guyu bellowed, controlling the Skeleton King to shatter the prison and send everyone flying back with a single palm strike. He looked at the crowd with a contemptuous gaze, then turned back toward Xiao Yan. But that short amount of time had been more than enough. In front of Xiao Yan's chest, a 5-colored fire Lotus, carrying the purest aura of destruction, spun silently, causing all creation to fall silent. Go! Following Xiao Yan's roar, the annihilation fire Lotus left his hand, tearing through space, leaving a long, deep black trail as it shot toward Guyu. Faced with that destructive pressure, even Guyu had to become serious, deploying his ultimate defense. Myriad soul bone armor. Boom! A world-shaking explosion resounded as a 5-colored sun erupted. Space collapsed, the laws of nature fell into chaos, and heaven and earth lost their color. The giant Skeleton King exploded into dust. The Fire Lotus's power, undiminished, continued straight toward Guyu. Terrified, he unleashed his full power in a counterattack. When the flames dissipated, Guyu's figure was revealed. His clothes were tattered, his blood was churning, and blood trickled from the corner of his mouth. Seizing the opportunity, Xiao Yan executed the 3,000 lightning movement, and a fist containing soul-shaking power smashed directly toward the old man's head. Thump! A sound rang out as both were sent flying back. Guyu spat out another mouthful of fresh blood, his eyes filled with horror. He growled, "You've used the Fire Lotus, now come with me." With that, he shot out a ghostly claw, intending to capture Xiao Yan alive. But right at that moment, a voice, majestic yet indifferent, like the great bell of the Tao, suddenly echoed across the 9 heavens. Guyu, a dignified half-saint, attacking a junior? Have you no shame? As the words fell, space fluctuated, and a gentle gust of wind easily shattered the ghostly claw. Immediately after, a man in white robes with his hands clasped behind his back calmly stepped out of the void. Each step he took seemed to tread upon the very rules of heaven and earth, his bearing extraordinary. And that is the end of episode 169. Part 5. What exciting things will happen in episode 170? Follow the 1991 Review YouTube channel for more details. If you have any feedback, please leave a comment below, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss the next episodes with 1991 Review.